is season 4 of Whatever She's Having with Linda Hoffner and
Claire Suma Diwaria.
And we're here to talk about being fearless, showing up for ourselves, and being a champion for other women's success.
So this podcast is proudly presented by 425 Magazine, our newest partner. We are thrilled about this new partnership and the magazine's belief in us as individuals, as a duo, and a message of empowering friendship.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you to our partners, 425 Magazine. We also want to give a shout out to our season 4 sponsor, the Sammamish Chamber of Commerce, for partnering with us to bring you this episode. Success starts with connections. Whether you're a small business, entrepreneur, or a professional, the Sammamish Chamber helps you grow, network, and make an impact. Come to an event and see the difference. As a matter of fact, they are hosting a giving luncheon on March 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Sahali Country Club, where you can meet 13 incredible nonprofits showcasing their impact in the community. This is a great opportunity to come together, support their missions, and celebrate giving. You can register at sammamishchamber.org under the events tab.
So today we are joined by the one and only Laura Clise, the CEO of founder of Intentionalist, an online guide to intentional shopping spending that supports small businesses and diverse local communities. Laura started in the corporate sector and transitioned into a social entrepreneur to follow her passion of instigating impact at intersection of business and the society. Laura, you are truly my hero. And all of the minority-owned small business owners, I am honored as you as my friend, my supporter, a mentor during the toughest day during the pandemic. I was going to go back to go recount how we met, but do you remember that day when I called you during the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
And then, so during the pandemic, I think because, during the anti-hate craziness going on, we thought I was safe. And then almost toward the end of it, I received this anonymous email. I think it was probably the most harsh email I ever received it from somebody on the dark web, and then that was targeted not only on my race, on my gender, as also I think everything you can believe in too, right? And the first person I called was Laura. Do you remember what you told me?
I hope that, first of all, I offered open listening and love and support, but no, I don't remember what
she said was, my friend, just breathe. And that was all I needed it. Because, when you think about like that, you just need a friend to listen, and also I can rely on, knowing that I have a friend. And then something happens, you can be there for me, just tell me to breathe with you. That's really matters. And that's how I met the true Laura, the superhero in my heart at all times.
I appreciate you sharing that story because I think that it really underlines what makes small businesses special. And it gets to the heart of the conversations that you're having day in and day out on this podcast, which is the importance of connection and real connection between people and what that makes possible. Because when I think about what you do, Claire, every day with love, with generosity, with compassion for your community, being a small business owner is the most meaningful work that I think you can undertake, and yet in so many ways it is challenging in all of the dimensions. And so I think that it's the connections that we make with one another that enable all of us to navigate life's twists and turns. And I think that the strength of connection and community is that when a bad actor comes after one of us, it's an opportunity to show up for and support the people that we care about.
And that's superheroes like you and great friend like Linda keep us going, because we know we have a whole group together. We have a tribe together. Yeah, we're not alone.
So I'm dying to know how you guys met. Was it you reaching out to Claire as a small business owner when she first started Belden, or how did that transpire? How did you find out about Intentionalist?
Do you remember where we first met? Well, we can give a shout out to another badass female entrepreneur because we met at an event at the Riveter.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You are epic rapper.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, I've seen her rap too.
That's how I met her on stage. She was amazing on stage, and then she was rapping, and that how it was. I printed in my head. She was unforgettable.
So this was pre-COVID.
It was right before COVID.
Okay.
Right before COVID, and
Okay.
her message. She was on the panelist. It was amazing. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like
But how fitting that we met at an event
Yes.
that was bringing women business owners, women entrepreneurs, women creatives together.
Yeah, the Riveter, isn't that a like a co-working space for
it-
women?
for women,
Started
right?
as
Okay.
a co-working space.
Okay.
And then through the pandemic pivoted
Okay, right.
toward an online community that is still vibrant to this day.
Really? So it's purely online now.
I think that there are events that
Okay.
occur in person, but I think, really everything kind of got turned
Yeah.
on its head
Yeah.
with the shutdown of
Yeah.
everything during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
That's awesome.
see, we are connecting dots together.
Well,
Because,
I think that was the first time I saw you was when you were rapping. So we have that in common.
Yes.
So it was Seattle U.
Oh, United Way
Yes.
Racial Justice
Yes.
series.
And I went, who was I? With Jeremy Barksdale.
yeah. Wasn't Doug on stage? Doug Baldwin on stage?
Huh?
No.
Yes, Doug was
Right,
there.
and then-
and
And
Ephraim.
Yeah, and then Buna Coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, who is that? She is the coolest person I've ever met.
She is. She's definitely the coolest.
Yeah. And then, I kept running into it other things, and I'm like, yep, she's cool.
She is.
And I'm like, oh, Laura said hi to me. That means
when I say her
I was
name,
total fangirling. Yeah.
whenever I was like, don't you know Laura from Intentionalist? I know her.
I know.
Like I feel like there's
Gosh.
wings on my shoulder. Okay.
No, I am grounded in the essence of unabashed dorkiness.
So I have a new favorite slogan that we heard yesterday at the Bellevue Chamber Women's Leadership
That
Conference.
one's good. Yes.
Which you spoke at last year. You were a panelist. Claire and I were on the stage last year. And this year we got to just go and be guests, which was awesome. And Chef Christy Brown was the keynote speaker. And they did it in like an interview style with Angie Nueva Camina.
Love them both.
Yes. And Angie asked her something like, how would you describe yourself or something like that? And she just without a beat, she said, I'm a homegrown badass. And I was like, that is the best phrase literally that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
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 Like I want that on a business card.
Yes. And then she say it like 100% owning it too, from
Yeah.
the inside out.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Yeah. And
Yes.
that's how I view you, Laura, as a homegrown badass.
Well, to be in the same sentence or thought as Christy Brown is always an honor. And a fun fact is that when we first launched in May of 2018, That Brown Girl Cooks
Yeah.
and Christy Brown were a part of our launch event.
Really?
Wow.
That is very cool.
Because I thought she was so cool, and
She's cool.
I wanted to
Cool.
be sure
Yeah.
that she would be a part of sharing her food and her story at the launch of Intentionalist.
That is very cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to talk about your slogan, which is hashtag spend like it matters. Talk to us about the significance of this slogan, how it became the backdrop for Intentionalist, and then to go back, like you created a whole rap song around it. But talk to us, where did this come from?
Really, it came from the simple recognition that everyday decisions about where we choose to spend our money shapes the world around us. And following a corporate career in social responsibility and sustainability, I had been thinking a lot about the impact potential of consumer choices. And as I grew to deepen my understanding of the incredible value of brick and mortar small businesses beyond the products and services for sale, what became incredibly clear is that small businesses like Belden Cafe matter. And instead of spending money either without intention or driven purely by a subconscious or conscious desire to swipe and click our way to immediate gratification, when we're intentional and when we remember that where we spend our money matters because people matter, that's what creates, I think, the opportunity to take steps toward a more community-driven economy, toward a world where the transactional becomes relational. Mm-hmm. And so at Intentionalist, we say spend like it matters because it matters.
Yeah. And you have this amazing, you have your website, which is really a online directory of local minority-owned small businesses throughout not just the Puget Sound region. I mean, are you
we
national?
Have pockets
are you
of presence across the U.S.
Across the U.S.
But I think that part of what makes Intentionalist unique is that we aim for the directory to serve as the foundation for activating, incentivizing, encouraging consumer spending. And we're able to do that with partners that help us transform our directory into a tool for catalyzing intentional spending at local businesses, whether throughout the greater Seattle area or all the way to Washington, D.C.
Yeah. And you have these really cool cards that people can buy, right? Gift cards, and then the Black Friday card.
Buy Black card.
Yeah, Buy Black card, which I have given as gifts, and people love them. And I think, talk to us about what are the ways that, what are the things that you're doing and the partners that you're creating? Because I know you've worked with the Seahawks and, to get infiltrated into their spending area, right? So that their fans are consuming at the businesses that we want them to, the local businesses.
One of the really cool things about small businesses are that they're something that we all can relate to. Mm-hmm. We all have a favorite coffee shop, cafe, dry cleaner, barbecue destination, hair salon. I mean, the list goes on. And I think that what has been really exciting for Intentionalist is cultivating partnerships with organizations, so companies, pro sports teams, local government, who share that passion for small business and see opportunity to both engage their communities, their employees, their athletes, their fans, their volunteers, their prospective customers in intentional support of local businesses. And so what I think has been powerful as we have grown is that our model invites partners to subsidize or sponsor promotional deals and discounts to encourage people in the community to get to know, walk in the door, and support local businesses. And we do it in a way that doesn't focus first and foremost on extracting value from the small business. And so what we've tried to do is turn existing models on their head, where I might approach Claire and say, we have a platform, we have a following, we have these influential partners. What will you pay me to get your brand in front of them? Instead, I can approach Claire and I can say, we have partners who share the value that you place in creating opportunities for immigrant and refugee women, and we want to help amplify that story and incentivize more people in the community to learn about that, and our partners are going to cover that cost so that more people can learn about the difference that you're making through the thoughtful way that you run your business.
Yeah, I would say like Intentionalist to us, to a small business, it's a extra marketing partner that we don't have to pay thousands of dollars who actually believe in our mission. And then I believe truly that Intentionalist knows exactly the hard days and the good days and how to celebrate together and how to build that momentum together. Because as we know, I think the market is a multi-level funnel. So we have to go through different advocates to go through that. And then the customer, I think the way to capture customer is really, really hard. So when we have an extension arm can help us do marketing, that's essentially, it's free. I think it's really free and value added too, right? We have products that's actually unintentional, not only on the card, but we have products. So Intentionalist, other than the card, you also sell brick and mortar products as well. And I actually have customers who actually see us from Intentionalist and order from other states. And this is amazing because that cost to do the customer capture and then retention, and also that return is really expensive to do our own. But with intentional support, it's just right there. It's like you are a secret fairy walking the back and making this happen to us.
The fairy godmother of small businesses.
Hopefully making connections, because I think that as we were building Intentionalist, we asked the question, what's missing? And certainly there's a lot.
Yes.
There is tremendous need around access to capital, capacity building, technical assistance. But what we found was that there was an unignorable gap when it came to connecting small businesses to customers who care. Mm-hmm. How do we close the distance when we think about the last mile to the conscious consumer? Mm-hmm. And that's where we have focused. And it has been a journey to both cultivate relationships and trust with small businesses, while at the same time growing a community of consumers who want to be intentional about supporting small businesses. And then I think that what has been really heartening to see are the partners that want to be a part of that. Yeah. We don't have a sexy app. We don't have the most sophisticated technology or the slickest product, especially in a tech town like Seattle. But I think that what stands out for me is that people partner with Intentionalist because of the trust and integrity of what we do, which is prioritize benefit to the small businesses at the heart of our communities.
Yeah. The Intentionalist customer definitely is the most patient one, because you remember how when we first launched the portal, when you go through the website to redeem the gift cards, it was a learning curve for our team to learn that. But I have to say, the customer coming in knows how to do intention. They will walk us through, being super patient. If they're lying behind us, being impatient, they're like, we are buying something really matters, okay? I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you.
Chill out.
Yeah, chill out. But they say they're we buying some intention. And then they were like, you should try Intentionalist too. I was like, all right, you go, okay.
There's definitely been a tech curve for us.
But
Yeah.
I think your supporters are really strong-hearted.
You've been like a one-woman show for so long, right? I mean, what is your staff now?
So
Is it
I have an incredible head of engineering.
okay?
Who has been with me for the past, almost 5 years.
Okay.
And he does front and back end and everything in between. It's really extraordinary that we have all of the tech working the
Yeah.
way that we do with one engineer.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's incredible.
It's nuts. And then we have some part-time support around our newsletter and some of our content, as well as small business outreach and support.
But to go back to what we were saying, like, you may not have the the big, fancy, sexy stuff, right? But you have you. And that's what people are investing in, because you share the message so brilliantly in a way that, like, I've not seen it done before. And that's what people are excited about. They're excited about you. And then they get excited about what you're doing, and then they want to be a part of that, right? Because what you're doing is so unique and rare to really be this, like, big spoken voice about the small businesses that so often get forgotten. And especially now when we're seeing so many of them having to close their doors because the costs are just too much and the foot traffic is not there that they need. Having a champion like you is incredible and so rare. So I think it's really important for you to know that I believe so much of your success is just because people believe in you and how you're sharing that message. And that's why we're all fangirls, because we're like, Laura's so cool. And by the way, I just noticed that your bracelet says badass.
So there's
oh my God,
so
I
there's
love it so much.
There's a story. I grew up incredibly insecure.
Yeah.
And it's something that I have wrestled with my whole life. I'm grateful because, I think it has made me humble. It's made me value relationships and community because I can remember times in my adolescence when friendship and belonging were really hard to come by. And I share that because I wanted to wear this bracelet because it was given to me by Seattle Rain Chief Business Officer Maya Mendoza Ekstrom at Intentionalist 5-year anniversary. And I wear it in moments when I need to pump myself up a little. And I'm so grateful because I feel like I'm surrounded by brilliant, passionate women, and to be able to find ways to work together and lift each other up, which again, I know is the theme of what you're amplifying when I think of someone who has been an incredible supporter of me personally, of Intentionalist. Maya and I first met back in 2017 through a passion project I led that brought all of the pro sports teams together for a first of its kind joint pride collaboration.
Oh, very cool.
And that was when Maya and I first connected, and I admire her leadership. I admire the way that she shows up for the people that she cares about. And yeah, that's the story behind the bracelet.
I love it. I love it. We all need those reminders, right? Sometimes I get them in forms of tattoos, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I got this heart tattoo on my ring finger that I wear under my wedding ring to remind myself that first and foremost, I have to love myself before I can love others. Because I think probably all of us have struggled with self-doubt and being insecure. I 100,000% can say that. And I needed that reminder of like, no, you love you, and then you can love others. Yes. So I love that you wear that.
It is really cool, actually. Yeah. So I was like, this year when we have the Intentionalist Award, it started last year.
The year started in 2023.
Right? And then last year was the second year.
Yes.
And then it just gets better and better,
It was better. Such an amazing
I would
event.
say for 2 years, Bowden was both the...
I have to tip my hat to a member of our team,
yes,
Simran Singh,
yes,
who takes the lead on all things Intentionalist Awards.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be more than, I think a good idea without her excellence.
You know what she does that's different is, doesn't matter what you win or not, it's like sense of community together. And then the sense that we are in that group together. And then I think when you're nominated, it's like a win that that your community loves you, right? And then when you win, when one of the finalists wins, it's almost like the whole group wins, the whole room wins.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful. And then I think that being in the small business, especially, coffee shop is very highly competitive. I mean, coffee shop is basically a corner, each corner, every one block business, right? But the fact that, we can be friends with, Buna Buna and then Anchorhead, all these great roasters and coffee shop, like owners out there, it means we love each other to win. And then winning together is always, because I ran into Afron at the Buna Buna and he was like, man, did you OU finals? I was like, yeah, I know, we're in the same category. Are you excited? We're so excited. I think that was like the high point of the night, knowing that somebody I value so much is up there, like together. And then something that from the award this year, you had a category of the team member of the year, right? Of the year. Yeah. And then our one of our refugee team, Ola, actually won. She didn't win, but she still got $500 gift card. And then a check, actually. Yep. That's even better. I gave it to her. She was crying. She was really, really happy that she got that. It's because it's not the final win that matters. It's like that award for being acknowledged. That being part of that participation really matters. And
being seen.
Yeah, being seen. And also, I think be awarded of your time, to be honest, right? Being awarded of your time. So like, a lot of time, as you can see, like I think a lot of nonprofit grants, as long as you apply, you get some incentive and payback for your time. And that should be always the model. And then for you to put in there, making sure all these team members are really valued is really, is very valuable. And also it adds a different identity to Intentionalist because you care about everybody. So what can we expect this year? Is it coming back?
It is. In part because we believe that it's important to celebrate small businesses for the value that they bring to our communities that has nothing to do with fluffiest cookie or, tastiest treat. I mean, as you know, I love all of the treats. Yeah. But I think that what we hope makes the Intentionalist Awards unique is that we are celebrating the contribution of small business owners and people who, through everyday acts of kindness, compassion, creativity, are making our communities better. And that's why the categories are unique, and they're celebrating the different ways that small business owners are community leaders. The reason that we added Employee of the Year is because coming from a corporate background, my hope was that it could serve not only as acknowledgement that small business success and strength is often or always more than just the person or people who own the business, but we also recognize that, in particular, having a small financial award attached to employee recognition is something that can be challenging for small businesses. right? We aren't operating with margins that allow us to pay, thousands out in bonuses. But I think that being able to pair heartfelt gratitude with a small monetary award, we hope that is a way of articulating appreciation and value in multidimensional ways.
So in a sense, you are not only marketing fairy, you also the employee retention genie as well. I mean, that turnover is real, right? I mean, we're pretty lucky. Our team is really happy, but thanks to you for that check. But I think honoring our employees and making them feel like they are part of a family that's growing together actually makes a small business more sustainable. Otherwise, it's always fall on the business owners, right? And then we need to grow a sustainable way. Thank you.
I think this was the first year that I had gone, and obviously I was there to support Claire, but Beth Osborne from Symetra had invited me as well, and so I was like, of course I want to come. And it was Beth and Ashley Clemmer from the Bellevue Chamber, and of course Beth and I are both on the board for the chamber, and we've been having a lot of conversations about like how do we get more small businesses in Bellevue, because it's just so much harder, it feels like, than in Seattle. And we want more intentionalist dots on the Bellevue map.
Yes.
And so it was great. We went, and we all were just so enamored with the feeling. Like, I will say it was joy. Like when you walked in, you felt joy in a way that I haven't felt going to an event before. And the room was one of the most diverse rooms I'd been in for an event in this area. Yeah. Certainly, not in Bellevue, right? Do we have events quite like that? Which I am saddened by, but, and my goal is to help change that. But I literally looked at Beth and Ashley and I said, this is incredible. Everybody, to your point, Claire, was there to cheer each other on. And that's what it was. It was a party.
Yeah.
And it was a party. There was a DJ. The food that you had was like very intentionally curated by various different small businesses. I was in love with the whole thing. And I thought it was the most genius way of celebrating small businesses, in inviting them to be a part of it instead of just trying to throw something for them, right? Like they were integrated into every piece of that event.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming. I think the other thing that you touched on in mentioning Beth from Symetra is how important partners are to what we do. So the magic of Intentionalist, when it's magicking, is that we do what we do because small businesses like Belden do what they do, because values-aligned consumers like you do what you do, and because our partners do what they do. Because at the end of the day, when you ask the question, who benefits from Bellevue, a Seattle, a Puget Sound region, from an America, from a world in which small businesses like Claire's are thriving, who benefits? The answer is we all do.
All do.
And we all have an intentional role to play in making that a reality. And so I literally intentionalists can only do what we do if everyone else is doing their part.
Yeah. And I think what was so fun for me this year too, with the Black Friday shopping event that you did, was being able to do that with my son, Colton. And it was like a treasure hunt, right? Yeah. And number one, I do not go to the mall because I cannot stand the crowds. And especially around holiday shopping. Like, you will not find me anywhere near that. And shopping with children might be the worst thing ever. So this was a fun way to do it, right? Like, we had the map of where we wanted to go and who was participating in this event. And he got to like get excited and find directions and figure out where it was on the map, and had so much fun picking out stuff. And being able, I didn't realize how much he loved the touching and the feeling that you get in a brick and mortar, right? Where you get to like physically see it. He could pick out smell the candle, pick out who matched in his life that he had on his list, who matched these different things that he could get, whether it was a pair of earrings for grandma or, you know, a journal notebook for his uncle or things like that. It was really eye-opening for me to see how much fun he had with that. And now I'm like, well, now I can take you shopping because I know where to go that is engaging, right? So thank you for that. And I can't wait for next year's treasure hunt because it will be very fun. So and on that note, I want to talk too about how you kind of, you touched a little bit on the importance of partners. And I know you worked with venture capitalist and former Seahawks player Doug Baldwin early in your journey to create Intentionalist through his Vault 89 company. What did that process look like, and how important and hard is it to get the backing of someone like Doug in order to move an idea like this forward that was kind of unique and the first of its kind?
The short answer is that working with Doug and Vault 89 is all about trusted relationships. I actually was introduced to Doug by Ephraim Fasaha.
Wow.
And I think that Doug was an early investor in Boon Boona and supporting Ephraim as he was navigating growth, especially for the coffee roasting side of his business. And ultimately, things came together because of deep values alignment and a commitment to figure out how to do what we can with what we have to contribute to the world that we want. And so I don't think that Doug would mind my saying that he is not a traditional venture capitalist, because he isn't.
Yeah.
He's an impact investor.
Yes.
And I think that so much of investment is predicated on a value calculation that you make. What is your return on your investment? And I think that traditionally we think about, oh, how am I going to invest in the next, unicorn tech company, right? And the reality is that most of us aren't.
Yeah.
And so then I think the question is, with the resources that we do have, even if it's voting for an acai bowl at Belden Cafe, which I try to make a habit of, there's a return on that spending that is more than how dang delicious a way that is to start your day. And I think that working with Doug and his team has been a wonderful exercise in community, because that's how Vault 89 operates.
That's amazing. And I think it shows, Doug is a great example of somebody who, played football for this town, for this city, and really made it his home, right? And several of them actually have. But he really took that to heart and created a home where he wanted to give back. And it's amazing.
He does it in
so many ways.
Many different ways. It's incredible.
Yeah. In a earlier episode, we had Jen Mueller on, and she mentioned Doug.
I feel like his ears must be burning right
I
now.
know, I know.
2 episodes. Yes.
That she never names favorite players. And I guess KJ Wright had made a comment to her, made a joke on stage about him being her favorite player, and Doug took it very personally. And anyway, it was a cute story about Doug, but I think it goes to show that he's, deeply committed to the people he works with, the relationships he has. And because of that commitment, we have, wonderful things like Intentionalist and Boon Boona Coffee and the community center he built for Renton, which is an amazing, gift to that community. So I love seeing all, when you peel back the layers of how this all works, it really comes down to intentional partners, right? Like that whole word is intentional, is the foundation for all of it.
Exactly.
But like before we close, I do want you to talk about this candle you bought us.
Please. They're amazing.
We make candle at the cafe, but this is nothing like the cafe candle. This smells nice. I love this brand. It's a
Noir
black
Luxe Candle Company.
Do you want to tell us more about the scent?
And it says nothing without intention.
Yeah, the meaning behind it.
So the owner of Noir Luxe Candle Company is a woman named Kalina Bruce, and her brick and mortar shop is in the Belltown neighborhood.
Oh.
And she has both an experiential component of her business where groups can come in and mix and pour their own candles, as well as the retail side of her business. And so we met early on, I think for both of us. I was at her ribbon cutting.
Oh.
And as I learned more about her business and the vision for her business, I got really excited about what she was doing, how she was doing it. And she has always been on the front foot in asking questions, asking for connections that will help her continue to learn and grow. And where we've been able to make introductions, we've been happy to. And at the same time, I think that her products are wonderful. Nothing Without Intention features one of her most popular scent combinations.
This is the name of this particular scent.
So the name, I'm trying to remember the name of the scent.
Or is this on all
I
of
will
her?
have to come. So the name of the candle
Yeah.
is Nothing Without Intention.
Okay.
And
And
it's like a signature scent.
and then
Right,
we
okay.
asked her to pair that candle with the scent.
Okay. Oh, I got it.
So it is perfect for the season.
Yeah.
It's grounding.
Evergreen, citrus, and eucalyptus. It's amazing.
But I would
love
be
this.
remiss if I didn't also mention that Kalina is a part of a collaboration we helped instigate between Noir Luxe Candle Company, The Postman, and local artists Mama Lips Draws. And
Wow.
it's a candle called Together that features Black History Month artwork by Jesse Lipscomb, Mama Lips Draws. It's available for sale exclusively at The Postman
Oh, very cool.
in the Central District. And Kalina was willing to put her talent to the task to produce the candle.
I love that.
So
Very
I
cool.
guess everybody know where to buy it. This smells so nice.
So good.
And I smell a lot of candles. Yes,
Claire does.
Yeah, I smell a lot of candles. We create a lot of scent too, but this is like beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it's so nice. Oh
Very
my gosh.
fresh.
Thank you for bringing this.
Yes, thank
wow.
you.
Okay, should we go to the rapid fire question?
Okay, we like to do these rapid fire
This is
questions,
fun.
which we did not send you. So
I'll tell you. That's the whole
yeah.
idea. Okay.
Okay.
You go.
Hot
I go
seat.
first. Are you
This
ready?
is the hot
Are you
seat.
ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Take out or dine in. What is your go-to day night between those two for go-to day night? Take out or dine in.
Dine in.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a fun one. Favorite language to order chocolate ice cream in, because I hear you do it in 7 languages.
Turkish.
Oh my God, please
Ooh,
say
please?
it.
Dondurmaye chocolatele Saviorum.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
Okay, it's
technically, that's I love chocolate ice cream, but that's close to
That's
ordering
close
anyway.
enough.
Like, what
I
other
love it.
language do you speak? What's the other six?
Italian, French,
Ooh.
German, but specific to
Order
ordering
ice cream.
Yeah.
So is that your favorite sweet
I
ice cream?
love ice cream.
Really?
I love.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Okay,
my
it's
God.
worth it. It's worth
Yeah.
it.
Now
Wow.
we know. We're taking Laura on an ice cream date.
We have to.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Instagram or Facebook? Which one is better for business?
Instagram.
Okay. If you started your own restaurant, what type of food would it be?
Right? I mean, the funny thing is sometimes when I'm testing potential new product features on Intentionalist, I will create a listing for Laura's ice cream shop.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, ice cream it is.
But for the moment, I'm totally good with Sweet Alchemy.
yeah, they're
Yes.
great. Have you ever made your own ice cream? Turned your own?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. We used to do that as kids. My dad had the big old ice cream maker, and you'd crank it and
Well, the
forever.
Vitamix can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make our ice cream and then just Vitamix is
Yeah,
so
we.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yes,
have,
the
we
Vitamix.
have the
yeah,
attachment.
nowadays
But
that
the-
does, yeah.
It's really cool to do it like old style.
Oh gosh, I'm about efficiency and time. Come on, the Asana cannot get that done, dude. Do you want to finish the? Okay, go ahead.
End every episode with a quote that I try to pair with the topic.
Okay.
So the quote that I have today is, knowledge is power, community is strength, and a positive attitude is everything. And that is by Lance Armstrong. And I feel like when we know where and how we can make an impact, our ability to come together as a community is strengthened, and we can use our collective energy to push progress forward. So thank you for being part of our community. We're so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And
Thanks so
you
much
have
for
to
being my
follow
hero.
Intentionalist on Instagram, because Laura will break down every place that you need to go. All of your date nights are covered. She's got it all. So follow her. She's got great reviews of everything. And we can't wait to spend like it matters.
Yes, best ice cream in town. I'm sure she knows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, guys.